Hi, everybody. Hope you're joining your Saturday morning. Welcome to the I Am Real Estate Show with Ray Smith, Sandra Johnson, and Danielle Johnson. On the show today, we have Rico Arce of Rigo Pest Prevention. He's the owner of this locally owned company. How long you been in business, Rigo?
16 years this summer.
I don't know why I keep thinking it's 25.
Well, the career it's more than that, my friend. The career is 34 years. So I just entered my 34th year. So 1990, just fresh from New York, moved to Arizona, and boom, got into pest control.
Yeah, Rigo, we love having you on the show. I thought we could talk about something really, really exciting today.
Bring it. Come on.
Rats.
Oh, rats. Well, I'll tell you what, if you've been listening to the news, you probably already know where we're going with this. There is a sudden bit of an outbreak of a very particular rat, and not indigenous to the Southwest or even the West for that matter, and that is a roof rat. We definitely are now experiencing a very specific rat called the roof rat. First made its introduction into the Arizona market up in Phoenix in the early 2000s. In fact, I did some research, and back in the late 70s, there was actually a bit of an outbreak in Globe, and it was quickly addressed. And so if folks are wondering, well, why do they not live here, or why is it new? It's more of an East Coast rat that was brought over from Europe back in the settlement of the colonies, 1700s and so forth. And for the most part, just because of humidity and temperature and so forth, they work very well, breeding on the East Coast and Midwest. Okay. But they have, because of population expansion, development, urban development, and then you of course got cargo and produce and all that type of shipping and trains and all of that sort of transportation. Eventually, things do make their way into other markets, other cities and states, and that's exactly what happened. The roof rat was introduced into Arizona. Phoenix suffered a problem in the 2000s, and the word is they are getting some control. But this is a unique rat. It will infest the roof, right? Get up into the roof, and they'll infest your attic. Unlike our desert pests, like a pack rat or a field rodent, those guys live out in the desert. So even though they get up in our roofs and they make a mess and fool around, they eventually go back home out into the desert. Well, these guys, roof rats, they will take lodging in the roof permanently. Now, we are experiencing through some research and so forth that the heat here is definitely being an issue for them. Okay. But it is the overwintering that we're concerned about. So this is something that is being taken very seriously. The community needs to know that if they hear noises in their attic, they see signs, they think they've got a rat or a rodent issue, you want to address it immediately. We really do not want this rodent to get a foothold in our market. It's pretty serious. Yeah, so what you're trying to do is prepare for the winter months when it's going to be cooler, and then it'll be easier. And they'll survive better. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so, the big takeaway here is just be vigilant. You want to keep your shrubs and trees trimmed off the structure. You want to keep moisture to a minimum. You don't want to be, giving them food and moisture. And the other is to get a courtesy inspection. To have someone take a look and make sure your home is rodent-proofed, meaning there aren't these openings that rats can get into, right? So if we can go ahead and seal those things up now, prevent them from getting points of intrusion, we've got a chance to keep them out of your house. I think there's also another way we can do that. There are no Broadway shows here for the East Coast rats. You need to let them know. You can't make Well, there's plenty of mariachi bands, so I'm sure they'll find entertainment some way, Ray. Oh, man. I was just trying to hope, they haven't seen a Broadway show. They haven't seen Cats to get mad at it for a while. We got good entertainment here in the Southwest. They'll find it.
So do you approach the pest control differently with a roof rat than you would with the other types of rodents that we're already experiencing?
Ultimately it's the same procedures. I think the attitude is just a lot more aggressive. They're not going to vacate the roof. You've got to go after them. I think you have to be more aggressive in trapping, lots of follow-up. Overall, the techniques are the same, screening, openings, setting traps, monitoring. I think it's just a lot more of a robust attitude in terms of trapping and removing them.
And it's one thing to have them in your yard, another if they're living in the house with you,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And that's the thing. If they're very comfortable up there and they start breeding, I mean, you really could have a problem up in your attic.
What is Rigo? What is the thing that they eat then up in the wood? Are they eating the wood and stuff off the roof?
Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and look for citrus. They're going to be eating any of the berries and nuts. These are the things they go after. And so, getting back to your vegetation, you really want to keep that trimmed. They will go after human food, so we're talking trash pails, just debris. So really, sanitation has always been and always will be primary in good pest control service. Make sure again everything is trimmed, the yard's cleaned, keeping all food debris up, and just minimizing as much moisture and food source as you can.
Are the mesquite pods an attraction for them?
That's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I would imagine they would be.
Yeah. Anything they could eat,
Yeah,
probably. When
yeah.
you're hungry and
Yeah,
everything looks
yeah.
good.
I would say yes.
So if you've got them at your house, are you going to see them running around outside? Are you going to mostly just hear them up in the roof?
A little bit of both. I think you'll hear them more than anything. Like most rodents, they're nocturnal, so they're going to be out late at night. But if you were to spot them, they're probably going to be running along the roof itself. They do travel high. They'll certainly get down low looking for food sources, but yeah, you definitely may spot them if you're up in the very wee hours of the evening. I think mostly you're going to hear it. You're going to hear the thumping around and activity. Yeah.
What about fireplaces?
Well, fireplaces are self-contained construction. So really the only entry point in a fireplace is up at the very top of the fireplace of the chimney, where you have what's called, the flue or the spark arrest, the screening that allows, the flames and so forth to vacate the chimney. That's the only entry point into a fireplace is up on the roof, right at the point where the smoke releases.
Here we go. I'm just hearing you talking about the rats being nocturnal. I keep telling my kids all the time is that there's nothing good's happening at night.
Nothing.
After 11 o'clock, you need to be home.
Unless you're a stargazer. Okay.
Yeah, unless.
That happens.
But you can do that at 8 or 9 o'clock. You don't have to do it at 11.
Yeah.
Don't be nocturnal.
That's right. Don't be
a
nocturnal.
roof rat.
That's it.
I use that now. Don't be a roof rat.
Nothing good can come from that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell our listeners how to reach out to you, and also, is this going to be part of an inspection when they purchase a home?
Yeah. So as far as that, let's answer that. Yes. When we do a pre-purchase inspection, we're looking for any wood-destroying insects. That's number one. Termites and so forth. But we're also looking for any unusual pests that might be plaguing that home. So we do inspect attics, any intrusion points. So that's a very, very big piece of the inspection. So, hey, listen, Rigo Pest Prevention, 16 years now. You can reach us at 520-744-6177. And that website is rigopest.com.
I hope you were listening and were really interested in the fact about we're talking about rodents and rats and things that could be in your roof, things that go boom at the night. Sorry about that, but we want to make sure you're sitting back and you know a little bit about everything that's going on in the world out there. It's good to know a little bit more about rodents and what you can do to prevent from yourself. So we're heading to the break. We have spending great time with Rigo Arce, who is the owner of Rigo Pest Prevention. It's a great company that's been in for 16 years. Oh my goodness. I was just thinking about this, Rigo.
Yeah.
Where's Josh?
Where is Josh? Josh is doing some very important work for the company, making sure that we are modern and taking his dad to another level. He made me put my chalkboard down.
Thank you, Josh. We'll be right back, guys.